Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to give you guys a sponsored video for Torchlight Infinite. Now, Torchlight Infinite has recently launched their 7th season, and with it comes a lot of cool stuff. And I have been playing it a little bit lately, and I want to show you guys some of that cool stuff. I know a lot of you guys watch my channel because of action RPG content, and I feel that this season in Torchlight has been a great one for character mechanics and just cool stuff in a game. Now, the season is still really new, so if you want to get started, make sure to check out the game. You can do that in the description below. I have a link there. You can play on Steam, or you can play on a mobile device if you choose. Now, Torchlight Infinite has recently added this new hero. So this is Iris Vigilant Breeze. Now, I am not the highest level here. I got to about level 80, playing a little bit, but it's just a really cool hero. So this hero has a bunch of different types of skills that you can use. Generally, you have minions. Now, they're not the kind of minions that you had on the other minion users in the past. They're spirit magi. So there's lots of different ones, but the way that you interact with them is actually a really new and refreshing take that I have not seen in terms of mechanics for other ARPGs. So I thought that was super cool. So I do invest in a lot of minion mechanics. I have God of Machines, Alchemist, Warlord, because Warlord is generally fire, and I am choosing to use the Fire Spirit Magi, which is called Summon Fire Magus. So basically, you can play the new Iris hero using minions. You can play it as a traditional minion mancer as you may, where you have your minions do the work, and you can kind of see that he's doing the work there. The reason that I only have one is because of the talent here, this one. So the number of max spirit magi in map is 1, and you get 85 additional spirit magus skill damage. So when it's a plus additional, that actually means that it's a multiplier. So basically, with this talent, you are doing close to double damage, but you can only have one. If you don't get that, you can have many, and you can have an army of spirit maguses. You can even use the fire magus and make it work that way. In Torchlight Infinite, you can do a lot of different stuff to customize things. So again, you can play it like a minion-based character as you normally do. You can sacrifice these guys to have like huge bonuses to your own abilities. But the one mechanic that is really cool is you can actually mind control your own minions. So this is, if I want to use their skill, I basically take over the minion. So you can see that I am kind of like behind the minion now, and I am the one controlling the minion. Now, in this form of control, the minion that is effectively enchanted or like possessed by you, it's actually constantly losing health. But there are many ways that you can actually stack health regeneration that applies to your minions, so your minion never goes away. Normally what happens if it dies, it comes back to life, but there's kind of like a stun for like a second or two when that happens. So generally it is a mechanic you want to take advantage of. Now, in this form, when you are kind of like enchanting the minion form, you actually have the minion's skills, and you use them at your own discretion. Now, the skill here, Blazing Spin, this is being automatically cast because I have a particular support on this minion, and it's basically casting it automatically, largely from that, let's say. And this is kind of the focus to my character. I'll have some gameplay for the character coming up. We'll get into that in a moment. But basically, this is kind of like an attack, and the empowered version puts an aura which does fire damage every second equal to 271 base damage. So first off, that's a lot of damage. Second off, this red ring, that's the radius. And yes, we are currently fully zoomed out. So this is a gigantic fire aura radius that is just constantly in effect. Now, the only skill that you can use from your main setup, if you are kind of like controlling a minion directly, is your E key, and in my case it's Dazzling Bloom, which teleports your minions to a specific location. But because you are the minion with this control setup, it actually teleports you. So it's a really low cooldown teleport, and it also gives you a damage buff for a short period of time. So the idea is that you just teleport through the Netherrealm and everything dies in flames as you walk by it. This mix of playstyles really makes me happy. I know a lot of you guys watch me play a lot of different games. This is really my jam, and I think they do a really good job delivering on both the mechanics and the feel for playing this type of character. Now, you also have other abilities, so you can go back to your normal form if you want with a right click. It puts the ability on like a 1-second cooldown, so you typically don't really do that, but there are some issues that I'll explain. And you have the abilities, so you also have kind of the auto attack ability, which is kind of like the W. Sometimes it's doing like a circle around it because that's kind of like the empowered form. It's basically like an extra effect sometimes. And you have Q here. Q is like the ultimate ability. Now, they have lots of different spirit magus that you can actually control, so the amount of builds with this character is actually unbelievable. I've seen some really wild stuff. I just really wanted to focus on this gameplay style myself, but the ultimate skills are often going to be the focus. In my case, I wanted the focus to be the blazing spin, but the blazing spin doesn't do like boss level damage. To do boss level damage, you typically have to utilize your ultimate. And through the talent system, you can actually make your ultimate have no cooldown. And in this case, I'm pretty fortunate because the ultimate has the same scaling tags as the blazing spin. It's like this gigantic fire nuke. It actually does tremendous damage. I've been one-shotting most of the bosses with it, and if not, 2 or 3-shotting. So it's very, very high damage. But between the two abilities, they're both spells, they're both fire, and they're both area. So I'm able to kind of stack the character in that same way. Now, the challenge with setting up a build with Iris, Vigilant, Breeze is that because you only get one skill from your normal setup, and honestly, you do typically want it to be a skill that allows you to gain some mobility, and it's hard to compete with Dazzling Bloom. You may not know this, but in Torchlight Infinite, there is no like potion mechanic. If you want to regenerate your health or energy shield or whatever other mechanic that you have to use a skill that does that for you. And because we can only import one skill if we are in this mode, we basically have nothing to get our health back. But that's not a problem because the talent tree actually allows us to get significant regeneration mechanics. And in fact, that is the survivability for this character. So this character has monster regeneration because, well, that's the only way that it can work. Because you can't use like a heal-based skill to heal yourself if you want to maintain this form. And if you drop the form to kind of heal, then go back, you're going to have other problems because of the cooldowns and all that kind of stuff in between. So it's pretty awesome to kind of make these builds. I actually did not go off a guide for this. I just kind of tried a bunch of different spirit maguses and saw what it was to control each one, and this one just looked really cool. So it being a new season, a new hero, new mechanics, and people are still figuring out this extremely intricate character. If you are one of those people that really enjoys kind of doing your own thing, I do recommend you give Iris, Vigilant, Breeze a try. They have a lot of other seasonal changes as well, and the rest of the video will focus on the mechanic which has to do with tarot cards. So tarot cards are basically these like purple rectangles, and they're flipped. You only see them on their backside, and you basically have to run over them. You're going to encounter these when you're wandering through the Netherrealm. You might see a few in the later stages of the story zones, but typically you're going to see them in the Netherrealm. So when you walk under one, it flips over, it tells you what it is, and there's lots of different ones. And basically, you have to deal with the challenge. For example, you might get the Hanged Man, which you have to be right under where it is within like 2 seconds, or a hand is going to like drag you to it and do like crazy damage. Now, obviously, that's not a hard mechanic, but soon after you have to go right under it, you get like nuked around, so you need to kind of react. Overall, it's a pretty basic, mechanic in terms of avoiding the challenge when it comes to avoiding each individual one. But I would say that they're executed very well. The balance is very good. But the craziness happens when you execute multiple. So if you execute multiple, their effects can stack. And if you execute specific multiple ones, their effects can combo. And when they combo, you get exponentially more loot. But of course, it's not for free because the difficulty is also way higher. Once you do a certain number of these tarot cards in the rest of the world, you're going to have kind of a counter on your right side. Now, it starts pretty low, and the highest counter goes up to 15. But I think in the higher stages of the Netherrealm, the higher tiers, you see 3 in almost every single node that you do. So you actually see them pretty frequently. At the highest tier, which is where I'm at currently, you have to do 15 tarot cards, and then you go kind of like the tarot card realm. Now, instead of telling you more about that, well, that's what the rest of the video is going to showcase. I think it's an awesome mechanic, and again, if you guys do want to give it a try, the season's just begun, and you can find the link in the description for the game. Enjoy the rest of the video. Let's see how well we do here.
Share your last message with the wind.
So one more and we do the 15 stack. Okay, here it is.
The star.
Okay, let's do the event. Alright, so this is the new mechanic. You saw the cards, you find the tarot cards as you do the Netherrealm. And then when you get like the next like breakpoint, it seems to keep going up. I don't know how that works exactly. But I'm at the do 15 of them breakpoint. And then you go to the tarot path here. And you basically get a bunch of dice, and your goal is to pick up as many rewards. These chests are typically what you're looking for. You always have the dice here on the right, but every time you roll it, it generates a random other number. These are kind of like your set dice. So here, what I can do, I can roll 5, and then I can -2 to pick up that chest. Yeah, but the -2 is gone. We roll this one. These red things are, you die, but you can get like extra lives. So if I do 5, it's game. Some of these are like, yeah, select a specific number. Now I'm thinking that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I select 5, then this will get me that one. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Gotta plan a little bit ahead. Oh. Am I dumb? Yeah, I needed to pick 4. Okay. Guys, addition is really hard, okay? It's like, wow. How do we ever do it back in the day? 4. We can do 4 here. So you pick up these chests, and that's kind of like how you get the actual rewards at the end. These ones have random rewards. You just saw I got a bunch of like dice cards here. It's actually really good. Typically, if I can get a chest, I go for it. 5, 1, let's do the 1. Okay, so we can do 5, and then we can do -4. And then we can do 2. So the other part of the strategy I haven't mentioned is this has a cap. It doesn't go on forever. Because like we're gonna, you know, we're gonna start getting more and more lives. Here's another life. Yeah, that's gonna end at some point. And there's gonna be some areas where, oh wow, okay. So 5 is terrible. 3 is terrible. But I can do 6 and then -5 and then 3 and then die. Okay, let's not do that last part. We can do this on a 4, which will get us to that chest. 5 to there, 4 to there. Now, typically these upgrade things, I don't like to use them right away. There might be some strategy to where you actually do use them right away. I think here I'll utilize the 3. Ooh. Interesting. Backwards. I don't know if there's a cap in the number of chests, but that's the most I've ever had right now. Select any number. 1, 2, 3. We actually want 6. Yeah, we want 6. So let's select 6. Okay, and then we can go 2. And then we can go -1. Then we can go 6. And you can see it does actually end here. So here I can do 5, because you can't go any further. But then I could do -1 to get that chest too. Oh, chest quantity limit reached. Oh, did I at least upgrade the chest? Anyway, that's what these are for. These are for chest upgrades, basically. So we upgrade the chests, which is like, hey, free loot, right? Well, maybe not. So when you're done doing your whole thing with the board here, you do the confirm, enter fateful contest. And there are your chests. And that is as many as I've ever had. You do them in succession. And to engage in one, you basically start it. Good loot. The first few are basically nothing or pretty easy. Like this one's probably going to be nothing or like 1 terror card. It's nothing. Okay. Give me the freebies. I like it. Okay, let me actually get ready for content here. Okay. So we get 1 terror card here. Hermit. Hermit's pretty easy. So the idea is with the chests that have more stuff in them, you get multiple cards at the same time. And you know how it goes. Exponential rewards, exponential risk. Okay. Now, these do actually get pretty crazy later on. Like, you know, doing 1 at a time, that's, you know, that's not going to be that much of a challenge. Presumably you can handle that because you have made it. Doing 15 of them in maps. Okay. Oh yeah, this one we have to kite the mobs outside of the immunity circle. Okay, pretty easy. I think these red ones are like multiples. How many multiples are we talking? Okay, that could be really bad. The star is get annihilated by AoE, Empress is kite stuff, and Hermit is guys that nuke you from afar and you have to get up close and personal to even hit them. Stacked up, it might be a little bit annoying because the Hermits are probably going to get immunity shields while they nuke you from far away.
Sleep in the embrace of the warm breeze.
Almost done though. Those are the invisible hermit dudes. Lot of loot. Multiplier, multiplier. I got 1 chest left. I don't know if it's going to be 3 because the chest rarity. There's like a rainbow chest after the red one. Or if it's going to be 4 because it's like the last one. It's gonna be 3. 3 is manageable.
The Herald.
Hermit's fine. Star's not fine. High Priestess is fine. Oh yeah, High Priestess is a cool one. It's basically 1 Giga Mob, but you have to get really close to it for it to like drop its immunity. And that obviously can be problematic. I'm just using my enormous fire radius here to take care of these. Not because the mobs are dangerous, but the star is active, so it's like that. I don't know if that's gonna one-shot me. I think it might. So we don't want to lose it. Done. Ah, there it is. See? Lots of good loot. Lady thanks you for doing the mechanic. And then you basically can't do this like mid any zone that you're in. Like even if you're Netherrealm, like generated zones.
It hasn't
That works
grown
too.
yet.
I think I just have the boss here pretty soon. And it looks like that was probably the highest here. Because like 15 here, that's as many as I had to collect in that previous one. In the first few high level zones you do, there's like 1 or 0, but around Netherrealm tier 4 or so, it does appear like they're quite common. And it's not even rare to see 3 in a map. 3 in a map is quite common. Ooh. So many. Let's just use the 6. So here I can do 1. And then I can do 6. The death zone is coming. Oh, yep, for sure it is. Bro, can I get some chests in here? No, apparently I can't. Dude, I'm going with 1. Oh my god. There's like no chests here. Okay. No, maybe these chests are high value at least. At least one of them went up a while.
The High Priestess.
I'll remember everything you gave us.
Okay, this is the rainbow chest. Oh, Jesus.
The Star. The High Priestess. The Devil. The Herald.
Yeah, I think dropping a bit of survivability there may not have been worth it. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to check out Torchlight Infinite in the link below. The Arcana Season 7 has just released.